Hello my beautiful mamas, and welcome back to another episode of Diaries of a Mumpreneur with me, Josephine Snowling. Diaries of a Mumpreneur has been created to showcase my journey of growing from 0 to 7+ figures whilst remaining a stay-at-home mum. I am all about creating wealth with ease and flow whilst following my passions, and no sacrifices required to my parenting or any other area of my life. And today's episode, we are talking about claim what you want. And this is a really interesting topic because this came up for me last week. So I was recording a podcast. I was being interviewed on a podcast by one of my friends, and we had a chat after the interview, and I was talking about Diaries of a Mumpreneur podcast and how I had put in there that it was all about me growing from 0 to 7+ figures. And she made the comment, I really love that you have claimed where you want to get to, like that figure that you're kind of aiming for. And I was really thrilled she said that, because for me, it was a real mental hurdle to overcome in claiming that number. To say out loud, to put it on social media, to put it out to my followers, even to create an entire podcast around that idea, and really claim the fact that my desire for my business is to create a business that generates 7+ figures. But it was a real mental battle to get to that point, to own that and to claim it. And so I wanted to create this episode today all about the importance of claiming what it is that you want and the power of it, and the fact that just the act of claiming what you want, I believe, is so much more powerful than a lot of the physical action you can take in trying to achieve what it is that you want. Because it's that energetic decision that you make, and it just sends ripples out. It has a ripple effect into the universe. And it's interesting how I'd sort of claimed that, and I'm now having people who are recognizing that and bringing that up in conversation. So as I talked about, there's different areas of what it is that you want to claim from your business, and it helps to discover what your direction is for your business. And that's what I talk about all in episode 1, is finding your direction for your business. Because once you've found your direction, you've found what it is that you want to do, you can start really stepping into this place of claiming what it is that you want from your business. And it doesn't have to just be physical things that you want to claim. So it doesn't have to be a specific figure, for example. It doesn't have to be a specific outcome for your business. You can look at claiming how you want to feel when you're running your business. How do you want to feel when you work with clients? It can purely be a feeling-based thing. And actually, when you step into more of a feeling-based state, when you are chasing those feelings rather than those physical desires, you can actually open yourself up to so much more. Because if you're saying, okay, well, one of my aims, one of the things that I'm going to claim as part of my business is that I want to operate my business from a place of ease, from a place of flow. Now that instantly opens up so many different opportunities. You're not then kind of pigeonholing yourself into believing that ease has to come through doing a particular task or a particular strategy or activity. So with me, for example, I want to achieve creating a 7+ figure business. And I want to do that whilst being in a state of ease and flow. So although I have picked a particular outcome that I want, what I'm doing is I'm staying quite open to how that comes to me. Whereas And there's nothing wrong about getting specific, but sometimes we get specific because we believe that that is what we have to do in order to achieve what it is that we want. And that is why I find that it is better to, you can start with that. So start off with, if there's something really specific that you want in your business, and ask yourself, why do I want that? Because a lot of the times, like I say, it can be that we are wanting something because we believe that it is the only way to obtain something else, when really we want to just go straight to the desire of what it is that we want to obtain, and have trust that we have the capabilities within ourselves to achieve that, that we are able to connect in with ourselves and call that into our reality. We are able to call those opportunities and those experiences to us. And it just instantly opens up your kind of receiving valves for the universe to bring you lots of different opportunities, and opportunities as well that you just may never have thought of, and that bring you so much more abundance and joy in your business than you ever thought possible. So really think about what it is behind that physical thing that you want. So for example, one of the reasons why I want to create a 7+ figure business is because it's kind of not just about the money for me. It's not just about that I want to bring in that sort of money to have abundance and ease in my personal life, but I also want to be creating a business that's big enough to sustain and contain that sort of revenue. I want to create a business empire. I've got so many different things that I want to do, different avenues that I want to go down and explore and become creative with. And for me, it's not that I couldn't do that whilst earning a smaller amount, but I suppose I believe that once I get to earning that type of money, that my business will be at a level where it is, there's lots of pots, there's lots of places that this money, lots of channels that this money is coming through to me via my business. So start to think about also what it is that you're afraid to claim, because the very thing that you are afraid to claim and own is the very thing, and I'm sure you've guessed it, is the very thing that you need to do. It's the thing that's gonna push you forward. It's the thing that's gonna open up opportunities, bring you new experiences. It's gonna really rocket your business and your own personal growth at the same time. And one of the other areas to think about with what you want to claim is your lifestyle around it. Like, how do you want to be running your business? Do you want to be running a 9-to-5 business? Do you want to be working evenings? Do you want to be working weekends, mornings? How many hours of the day do you want to work? And this is such a fun exercise because it's almost, you can create a vision board around purely for your business, around what it is that you can see yourself doing. Like, step into, close your eyes down and just step into seeing that future you. What does she do? How does she behave in her business? How does her business merge into her lifestyle and her day-to-day and her parenting and all of this kind of thing? And then once you've got that clear vision, that's when you've got to claim it. And that's a different step in the process. So there's one thing in envisioning what it is that you want and seeing it. And then there's a completely another thing to claiming it. And you can feel it. It's like, I'm sure you've probably had situations in your own life before where all of a sudden you kind of just make this no more messing about decision. It's like, right, that's it. I'm having that. That is coming to me. And it doesn't have to be like in a, okay, blood, sweat and tears, I'm going to get this thing. It's just this it's like you can kind of feel yourself energetically, like your soul picks up your bootlaces kind of thing, like that. It picks itself up But inside, it's not this physical thing. It's this, like I said, it's this energetic feeling of, I'm going to have this. I deserve this. I want this. This is happening in my lifetime. And it's not that that's all it takes, but that is such a powerful start to have in your business, is to claim what it is that you want. And then if you go through this exercise of visualizing what it is that you want, and then really standing in this place, you can feel it in your gut that you're claiming this for yourself, you're claiming this for your business, for your life. And then just leave it. Don't act on it straight away, because what can happen is you can get in this space where you're like, okay, I'm going to claim this. And then you can sometimes rush off into taking action for action's sake. Whereas what we want to be doing is we want to be tapping into taking inspired action. Action where you just suddenly get this thought, or you get this urge to do something. You don't quite understand why you've got it, but something in your gut is telling you to do it. So I'll give you an example that has literally just happened to me a few hours ago with this. So I went in to check my Instagram feed, and one of the amazing women that I follow that teaches all about using the jade egg and sexual health for women, she had a new reel out, and the reel was inviting people to a masterclass for professionals who teach about sexual education, and basically where you can go wrong in that, the pitfalls, sharing her own experience from being in this kind of profession in this area and teaching around these kinds of topics. And something just told me that I needed to attend that webinar. Now, I kind of can see my business diversifying into those types of areas at some point, because I teach about relationships, and obviously sexual relationships come into that. So I can kind of see that potentially being something. But for my business right now, it kind of doesn't make sense. But there was this gut level feeling that said to me, sign up for that webinar. And it might be, I've heard examples of this from other people, where they have no idea why they're going to this thing. And it might not even be that you're going to it because of what's actually being taught, but there might be somebody there that you connect with, or there might be something else that arrives through doing something that you think, oh, this is completely crazy. This is, not something that I need to be doing. But that's the kind of action that we want to be looking for. And it's that kind of action that comes to you once you've claimed it. And it comes quite quickly as well. Like once you make that energetic decision to claim what you want from your business, don't be surprised if you start to get those types of occurrences happen in your life. And that's where you've got to lean into them and trust them and just go for them. Even if they seem weird, crazy, they make no sense, even if it feels scary to do it, if you're getting that gut level response, then that is your key to say, okay, I've got to do this. I've got to move through this mentally, and I've got to see where this takes me. So that is what we want to be focusing on. And your business is an amazing tool for your personal growth in this way. I mean, motherhood in general is just an initiation onto a spiritual path, in my personal opinion, whether you choose to do it or not. And if you're unconscious of the fact that you're on that path, then it's an incredibly rough ride. But if you're conscious of what motherhood is offering you from an inner growth perspective, from a spiritual perspective, then there is so much to be gained from it. And it's exactly the same with your business. You think with your business, you are money mindset, abundance mindset, ability to receive. All of this mindset is going to be heavily entangled in your business. Like, I know it's something I am currently going through. Since I left my corporate job to become a stay-at-home mum, my money mindset has really struggled. I have been able to receive quite a lot of abundance via my husband and through other avenues. But when it comes to bringing in money via my own channels, via me and my work, I've really struggled to get around that. That is definitely a mindset hurdle that I am having to overcome. I think it's simply transitioning out of, when you're a mother, you can fall into this habit of being in this world where all you do is give to your children, to your friends, your family, your partner. And I think what happens with being in that place where you are giving all of the time, especially if you're doing it when you're depleted, when you're burnt out, when you're not giving from a place of overflow, is that your self-worth really starts to depreciate. And I think personally for me that has been something that's happened, and it's something that I am definitely working on. Because really, what is receiving wealth and abundance if it isn't knowing your worth? Because if you don't feel that you're worthy of it, then it's going to be quite difficult for it to come to you. Or you might feel that you're worthy of it, but you're only worthy of it if somebody else generates that for you. I know that's definitely my entanglement at the moment with my husband. And I am so unimaginably grateful for him stepping into that role of provider for me and my family, so that I could step away from work, so that I could fully embrace raising my children. But now we're at this point where my youngest is starting to get that little bit older and is able to branch away from me for bigger chunks of time and still be happy with it, and for me to still be happy with that as a mother as well. And I'm now starting to move more into doing more for my business, working on that more. It's a mindset shift of, okay, wealth and abundance can come through me as a physical channel. It doesn't have to come via somebody else. It can come through the work that I do. And another area as well that you might be struggling with, which I know that it's a similar thing for myself, is that the work that I did before I was a mother, I was in a corporate environment. I was being paid by an employer to fulfill, certain tasks for the job that I was being employed for. And when you run your own business, it's a completely different setup. Everything you do, it's on you. And it's almost not as easy. You can't just step into it and go, okay, well, this person's just going to pay me. It feels like that there's more of a self-belief element to it that really has to, you have to really step up your self-belief, your self-worth, self-love mindset in order to run a successfully abundant business. Because when you're just being employed by somebody, you kind of just, you expect the paycheck at the end of the month. You know what it is that you're going to get. It's all very cookie cutter. But running a business is completely different to that. And so you take those two things of having been in a position for a while where money has not come to you through the work that you have done. And you're also now in a position where you haven't got somebody kind of higher than you that's just going to pay you for what you do. You've got to go out and seek that. You've got to find your clients, find your customers, create your products and your services. There's a lot of mindset work around that. But like I said at the beginning, claiming what you want is the start of that. It's the start of shifting into that mindset, because you can't claim what you want and then just sink back into, well, I'm not worthy of it. Those two don't work in conjunction together. You can't claim something and then go, well, I can't have it. I mean, you can dip back into that, but it's almost like once you start to claim what it is that you want, the universe is going to give you these opportunities to work your mindset out. It's going to give you, like, I don't want to say trials, because it's not like it's trying to trick you, but it's going to give you opportunities to say, okay, now here's an opportunity to work on that mindset and to shift that mindset. Because unless you can get into embodying the person who is able to receive what it is that you want to claim, then you're not going to be in a place to bring that in. So you've got to get into that mindset of, what does it look like? What does that woman running that business, being the mother that she wants, having the ease and the flow and the abundance, like, how does she behave? What does she do? How does she make decisions? So one of the things that was really interesting that came up for me recently was I was actually given the opportunity to write part-time. So I was given the opportunity to write 2 articles a week and be paid for that. And it was an amazing opportunity for my business. And it would have given me like a good little pocket of money to start investing into all the different things that I wanted to in my business, to start creating all those different structures. And I initially was very excited about the opportunity. Like, I just loved the idea that I could write and I could get paid for that. However, when I got into the collaboration further and started to deep dive on what was required of me, it just did not fit with, it didn't fit with my soul, I'll be honest. It didn't fit with my business model. It didn't fit with the way in which I'm wanting to create. The people that I was going to be writing for wanted something quite structured. They wanted things that were going to be really following SEO and hitting lots of kind of certain targets, which I completely understand that that's a priority for them in their business. However, to me, it did not allow for this freer version of writing where I could just trust that what was being downloaded into my head and what was being written was the right thing, the thing that was needed. There wasn't much free flow that would have been involved. And so I had to make a decision. I was faced with this decision. Do I take it and take the guaranteed money, which would inevitably help my business? Or do I stick to what my values are in this business and know that if I turn this down, that there will be another opportunity that presents itself? There will be another paid opportunity where I can write in the style that I enjoy, where I'm thriving and it doesn't feel like work. And that was my big red flag. When I went to go and write this article in the style that was required for this business, it felt like work. And that was my big red flag. It was the sign that this is not in alignment with the kind of business I want. I want everything that I do in my business not to feel like work. And thankfully, because I used to have a corporate job, I know what that feeling of what it feels like to work feels like. So this is where you have to get into that place of being that future person and being brave enough to make some of those really difficult decisions, but knowing that, so I know that although it was hard to turn that opportunity down, and on the face of it, it looked like I was rejecting wealth and abundance because it was money coming to me, but I knew on this deeper level that actually my time that would have been spent doing that and earning that smaller amount of money would actually have been stopping me from creating things that were lighting me up, that were really getting my creativity flowing, getting my vibration high, and calling in the bigger wealth. It doesn't mean it can't just come overnight. Like, I truly believe that. Like, if you want wealth, if you want ease, whatever it is that you want from your business, it's not that it can't happen quickly, but I do believe, like, sometimes it's about playing the long game. And I love how Abraham Hicks talks about this. They say it's about getting ready to be ready. And I love this, because it's not that you're not on your way. It's that you simply are getting yourself ready to be the version of you that has all of this. And sometimes that can't just happen overnight. It's not a light bulb switch. And so that's where you have to be brave to make the decisions for your future self, rather than the self that you are today, because it's your future self, that's the one that you want to be working towards getting to. So it's almost like seeing your future self as this different person, like this different persona, this different personality, this different character, and asking yourself, what would she do? What would she say? How would she behave? How would she run her business? Because when you ask those questions and you put those questions out there into the universe, that's when we are in a position where we can receive the answers. You know, when you put a question out there, there's always an answer available at some point. Now, whether you're able to hear that answer yet or not is a different thing, but there is always an answer available. So today, I want you to think about, what is it that you need to claim in your business to move it forward? And it does not have to be any more than that. What is it? And it might be several things. It might be one thing. What is that energetic decision that you need to make? That thing that you need to claim within your gut, where you feel like when you claim it and you own it, like it feels good in your body. It might feel scary, but deep down it feels good. It feels like it's the right thing. It's the thing that you need to be claiming. That's what I want you to think about. So I'm going to wrap this episode up here. I hope that you have enjoyed. What are we on? Episode 4 now. Make sure, if you haven't already, you go back and check out the other episodes. We've got 3 so far, all about finding your direction, structure versus flow, and the last episode was all about social media and your business and how we interact with that tool. So I will leave it there, beautiful mamas, and make sure that if you're enjoying this podcast, that you give it a review on whichever site you may be listening to on, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon. Make sure you give it a star rating or a thumbs up, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, so that I can start getting this out to more mumpreneurs, women, mothers who want to do business differently, who want to do life differently, and we can start spreading some of this joyous business love with those. So have a beautiful day, whatever you are doing, and I will speak to you in the next episode. Bye.